You okay to lead our camera where it needs to go for one more turn?
Absolutely.
Steadfast? You're a freaking hero. Spawning in the top right-hand side in the red, representing Team Alpha X and the US of A. Give it up for Future.
And his opponent spawning down in the bottom left, representing Alpha X as well. The Canadian Terran player who dominated the GTA for, by that I mean the Greater Toronto Area, for what has to have been about 3 years. It is Masa.
So you're from the GTA, right?
I am, yes.
Is there a higher percentage of people there that play Grand Theft Auto? Or is it sort of the same and no one makes that connection ever?
Honestly, it is almost disappointing how rarely that pun is brought up. It never comes up, really.
I'm a little surprised.
Despite the very evident similarity there.
I'm a little surprised as well. Now, is the Greater Toronto Area Transit Authority called the GTATA?
I actually think they are, yeah.
G-ta-ta?
G-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
That does sound very French. G-ta-ta. That sounds very French for a Metropolitan Transit Authority.
Right? Yeah, I'm ready. I'll comply with their demands. No problem.
Or if they're the GTA Metropolitan Transit Authority, they could be Gata-imta or Gatamta. Either one, I would be so excited to ride a bus if it was like Jatata or Jatamta. That'd be so much cooler than anywhere else.
I feel like,
with the possible exception of the Bay Area, which does have Bay Area Rapid Transit, or BART, which is one of my favorites.
Ooh. Ride the BART?
Yeah. I'm sure that's cool to say that.
That is pretty fun, actually. That's pretty cool. We are going to be seeing an early bunker here from Masa. He actually just went for a single Reaper and now is going pure Marine. That's very interesting. No add-on yet on the barracks. A little bit surprising. A little bit. We're probably going to see a reactor right now, though. Once he gets 50 gas. Oh, make me truthful.
Come on, Masa.
Yeah, there we go.
It is. A little bit behind, but he gets there in the end. We do see the starport with no tech lab on it, as you said, so no Cloak Banshees coming out, no Ravens, most importantly, early on in TVT. Now, we've seen a couple TVTs today, and Ravens have been such a clutch, key, important part of all those builds. We've seen them turning the tide of battle in our EU TVT match earlier today. A little surprised to see neither player going for such a fast Raven. Instead, of course, we see Future just now setting up to get his first Raven out. Raven count going to be a huge deal later in the game if it comes to that. They're just such a good unit, especially in this matchup. A little surprised to see Masa delaying it, but at the expense of the Cyclone, the Viking, the Marines, he's still going to be plenty safe in the early game.
Yeah, no, it is an incredibly useful unit. Probably the highest utility unit, maybe besides the Queen in the game. Of course, the Queen, it's required in every matchup for regardless. Whereas the Raven, really, mostly in TVT, it gets most of its glory. It can be pretty good in TVP for early pushes, and then TVZ, a very niche role for clearing creep. But definitely the value of that Raven cannot be overstated. And we are going to be seeing Masa go for the Raven eventually. He did want to get a Viking and a Cyclone out first. Wait, did he cancel the Viking? No, I'm looking at the wrong units tab. Okay, he does have it. Oh, I'm so broken.
You and me both, buddy. You and me both. Oh, jeez. The Raven's out for Future, though, and that's fine. And both players starting on the third base here. So, yeah, buckle in, kids, because this doesn't look like it's going to be over anytime soon. We should see Stim popping out soon for Future, and with the additional barracks going down for Masa, I was about to say Stim for him as well. That's a great scan, though, for Future, seeing what Masa's up to, and the counter scan there doesn't see the extra barrack going down, but the tech lab on the barracks is much like a legal last will and testament. It is a dead giveaway that you're going in to bioplay.
And this is a little bit of a tell for Masa that Future may be going for a push. Seeing that starport with the reactor still on it, it is going to be used to pump out some Vikings to try and get that air control. And, well, that should let Masa know that there is the potential of a push. And, well, that Marine now confirms it for a certainty here that Future's going to try and set up here in an annoying position.
Yeah, and annoying is exactly the right word for it here, because of course he's got that Raven on the high ground, going to get sniped down a little bit by the Cyclone. That's damage he didn't really want to take, but the Cyclone just edging closer and closer here. These tanks just getting dangerously close, and now we are going to see the Viking providing more high ground vision. 2 Vikings to just the 1 for Masa right now, and that's going to give air superiority to the Future for now at least. Oh, nice interference matrix there. Going to drive those tanks all the way back, allowing Future to set up, but I think Masa's just barely going to get back out of range.
Yeah, somehow. I was sure he did not. Masa just barely started the unsiege in time on his tank. Are these tanks in range? Oh, God, they're so close to one another, but just barely not quite. The Raven, though, ooh, a little bit sloppy from Future, will go down. Now, Masa does lose the Viking fight. He doesn't actually lose any, but he's going to have to repair up in order to contest once again. Very important that he did keep those Vikings alive, but Future losing that Raven, that is really, really costly. Oh, this is a cute little flank coming in for Masa. Just going to set up to not get contained any further. But this is so far really nice for Future. I would like to see him go home very, very shortly, though. Like, very shortly.
I don't know, man. He's got a 3rd base up back home. I don't think there's any big rush to go anywhere. Adding on some more production. Yeah, I think he can stay in this fight for a while. He's got the Viking lead as well, which means he can pick down all these Vikings. Bit of misfire there, but he does get both Vikings, or 2 of the Vikings, rather. Both the wounded ones. And nice, snipes that last one just as it initiates the landing procedure. Oh, Steadfast. I really like Future's position here. This is a contain that I want him to stay in for a little while longer.
Yeah, right up until those 2 Vikings reinforced and then Masa picked the fight, I had the opinion of yes. I hope Future goes home. But as soon as that 4th and 5th Viking showed up for Future and tipped the scales into his favor, now he just bought himself a ton more time on the contain. But that was really, really nice right there for Masa. A flank with these tanks. Oh, but he's not target firing the Cyclone. And as a result, he ends up... oh, wow. Ooh. Raven, oh my God. 8 kills, 9... Oh, not quite. Almost 9 SCV kills. Oh, 8 SCV kills on the other side of the map.
Wow, that's a lot of kills, man. And that's what's going to send Future home. That's what's going to break this contain is a Raven harass? Come on, Future. You're better than that, buddy. You could have pulled those probes or those SCVs off. Anyway, he's going to be just fine. Raven out for Masa, going back home, having done its duty. Oh, man, beautiful kills there from that Raven. But +1/+1 about to finish up for Future. +1/+1 finishing up for Masa. These players fairly even now. The big difference is that Future did have an economic advantage until just recently, but now things looking to be a little bit more even. The Raven not putting Masa ahead, but evening the odds at least for him. And now both players, I think, just a hair's breadth away from completely identical.
I will say that the medevac count being ahead for Masa is pretty nice here. Of course, you know, Marines not quite as important as those tanks, but if you can get to a situation where you can maybe find your opponent just a little bit out of position, you jump on 1 or 2 tanks, and all of a sudden there's an exposed tank line and it becomes Marine versus Marine. Having 4 medevacs to 1 is going to be a huge difference here. And, well, Masa, with some Marines, is going to see the army kind of shifting around. Will scan here. Oh, this Reaper. Who wins this fight? I think the... Oh, Marine just barely wins it. 2 kills on that bad boy.
Just a little bit. The tank's getting siege up for Masa, though, and this is a really dangerous spot. The Viking count for Future, pardon me, the Raven count for Future is, of course, down to 0, so he's got no interference matrices available to stop those tanks from just shellacking his bio units that are trying to move across the map. I love that Future has snuck 1 little battalion out, though, and he's going to be just out of sensor tower range here to spike this 4th base of Masa before it gets finished. Ooh, but Masa putting up a really nice containment.
Oh, wow, those Marines. I feel so bad for them. Ooh, just in time, barely cancels it. Does Masa, but he is in a little bit of trouble right now against this double drop.
Yeah, man, these are the ones that snuck out earlier. He's going to be forced to pull SCVs off the line to try and buffer for some of these Marines. The Marine reinforcements getting cut off one by one here. This is really nice from Future. That might force Masa into a bit of a greedy push to the other side of the base, just out of desperation. We'll see if he actually goes for it. He's loading up right now. The SCV count getting absolutely demolished. And oh, no! Medevacs! Focus fire the medevac, focus fire the medevac, focus fire the medevac, focus fire the medevac, focus fire the medevac. What are you doing? The medevac has 1 health. Oh, Future making a bit of a mistake, but honestly, with 21 SCV kills on the other side of the map, he is now even the odds. Stop the 4th base from going down, and even though there's a slight contain from Masa, Future's in a great spot now.
Yeah, that this counterattack with this Marine walk-by slash drop getting so much damage done. That was like 25 SCVs in total. A little bit unsuccessful going back in there, but still so much value coming out of that with the cancel on the 4th and all that economic damage.
Wow. I mean, what to say? Future's putting down his 4th base now, so he's going to be ahead on bases. Masa just flying his over. But like I said, the income should be in favor of Future here, and the army supply slightly in his favor as well. +2/+2 is going to finish up just as soon as this engagement occurs. So it's all going to come down to, as always, who can siege up their tanks the fastest, and who can maintain that air hegemony with the most Vikings on the map.
Oh, and adding on a Liberator here, really nice for Future. Even Kit picks off that Raven. 2 completely wasted auto turrets right there. Now these tanks in a really nice position, but there's so much overwhelming firepower from Future, and he is going to bulldoze over those. And he's currently maxed out against a Masa. Well, he's just kind of hemming and hawing with his own Marine counterattack. He doesn't have enough tanks to hold at home. He's down 10 tanks, 13-3. What can Masa even do in this scenario?
Man, I don't know. He's got to hope for a really bad engagement from Future, like running into some tanks or something. It's just not going to happen, though. There is a nice counter pressure on the north side, though. It looks like, yeah, he's going to clean up all the tanks on the top side. The tanks on the bottom side, shellacking those poor Marines that are trying to fire back. My God, this is beautiful play from Masa. He has lost all of his bio, though, so his tanks are going to get taken care of here. But he's already working on well, I was going to say both players already working on half their +3. A better cleanup than I expected from Masa, but Future continuing to pressure here now in that 3rd base. Now he's going to driven up. All right, he's fine.
Yeah, that actually went really, really well at the end for Masa. Being able to pick off all those tanks, that nice little paratroop drop on top of them. But, well, Future, he got a ton of damage done before this, and this is the result of it. This very, very large army coming in on this 4th base now. And, well, the SCVs are going to be pulled off the line. Planetaries have a lot of armor, so Marines, not fantastic. A nice target fire on those Marines coming out of Masa, but eventually with the tanks providing overwhelming firepower, that base will go down, as well as 13 SCVs.
Second time we see that 4th base get denied in one way or another from Masa. Future is going to stop this little Marine run by, but the Marine run by should see that the 3rd base is up, and they're going to see with some dismay that Future has that 4th base up as well. So that's a very sad Marine reporting back in over the comms unit back to his home base before he gets murdered. Trapped up against a wall, bleeding out like the end of a World War II film. He says, "Commander, they've got a 4th base." And then he just dies and the radio goes silent. And they're like, "Jones! Jones!" And he's gone. Future's going to push into the 3rd now and going to set up these tanks, and that's going to be disgusting. The Marine bodies flying everywhere right now. The high ground is in favor, of course, of Masa, but Future 117 army supply, and he's just tearing through right now. And it looks like more SCVs getting murdered, and Masa knows it. GG, Team Alpha X's Future beats his opponent, Team Alpha X's Masa, in game number 1.
And looking... Sorry?
I said not a bad little TBT. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah. I was going to say, looking a little bit like Saving Private Ryan at the end with that one Marine, where you have Tom Hanks's character just, he's on the ground. He's just in trouble. He's badly wounded. Yeah. He just pulls out a pistol and starts drunkenly firing at a tank. And it kind of a little bit, for about the last maybe 5 or 6 minutes, looking a little bit like that for Masa in that game.
Yeah, Future did such a good job of denying bases. That's something we can't stress enough. It's frustrating to lose a base one time, and then losing it a second time really hurts. And we saw Yeah, Masa just did such a really good job. Pardon me, Future did such a good job of denying Masa's base over and over again. And that's really what led him to the end of the game there. Just he had an army supply advantage already, but that prevented Masa from building up an army and really fighting back.
Yeah. Yeah, Future never let Masa come back after he got that lead. And it was just a really, really clinical TVT out of Future. Masa had his upside. He had some good stuff going for him, but yeah, Future was just way, way too on top of him.
Definitely. Well, let's get into game 2 here. Eternal Empire be our game 2. Future currently with a 1-game lead. Trying to tell if these guys change colors on me. I can't even remember the last game what color they were. Man, it's so tough to tell. Anyway, Future with a 1-game lead here as we get into our what could be, and I can't believe I'm saying it, Steadfast, and I don't want to jinx it, could be our last game of the day on Eternal Empire. Let's hop in. Looks like our players do have that that lobby bug. I'm gonna check and see. I've had players pause, and the admin has asked some of them if they want to remake the game, but our admin doesn't seem to be here. So Trados has had too many Dom Pedros today, no longer paying attention to whatever's going on. So we'll just introduce our players, and they'll make it their own. Spawning in the bottom left-hand side in the red, representing Team Alpha X. And Canada, it's Masa.
And his opponent saying, nah, it's cool. Spawning up in the top right, representing Alpha X as well, it is Future. Future. His follow, I don't know if you've seen his stream at all, but his follow alert is pretty funny. Pretty entertaining.
I don't get the chance to watch Future very much because I'm usually either casting EU stuff in the afternoons, and I think he streams in the evening, right? And so I'm usually exhausted by the time.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. I know he's not on Twitch anymore.
Okay.
He's streaming somewhere else, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the Alpha X guys have moved over to a different streaming platform.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure if we say the name of, we'll get immediately just disappeared from Twitch. The Twitch admins will come in and they'll black bag me right on stream and just pull me across. Oh,
somehow
man.
They'll pull you through my camera.
That would be unbelievably cool. If they have the technology for that, I'm definitely working for the right company, that's for sure.
Right? Yeah.
Man. Well, we got a early natural down here for Future. Masa getting his factory up first. Steadfast, lay it on me. What does that mean for Masa's aggression this game?
Well, a pretty standard 2-gas opening here. Now, if he resaturates these gases before taking a natural, we could see that 1-base play, that 1-1-1. But we would have probably seen a reactor come down. So Masa's just going to build some Reapers, some Hellions. Oh, okay, there's that starport.
Eat it, Steadfast. Sorry, I don't care. Command center does go down with the starport. Sorry, continue your actual thought, though. You're saying if the reactor goes down before, that's usually the sign that you're going to go for the CC on the low ground?
No, if you go reactor first, reactor first, usually that's an indication that you're going for that 1-base 1-1-1. Okay. Masa going to try and... Ooh, does get a decent shot. Oh, no, but he stays a little bit too long. However, Future not quite able to get the last shot on that Reaper, and... a little bit of an awkward setup for both players, but this will... Masa keeps those 2 Reapers alive, but with Future, with the bunker at the front, with these units at the high ground, he should be able to prevent any real damage from coming down here. Oh, look at this.
Yeah!
Ooh.
Put your arms up in the air and do that fusion core dance, kids, because Masa is going to go for some BCs this game. Yee! Oh, I can't wait. Now, Future probably needs to spot this. If you don't see the battlecruiser coming in, it can be so hard to defend against, especially if you're not getting things like Cyclones. Getting more Marines out. The good news for Future is he's working on his first Cyclone already. His Hellion's actually doing a lot more damage than I thought. Oh, the Hellion from Future stuck behind his own Marines on the top side. Bit of miss micro from Future there, and he loses probably 1 or 2 more SCVs than he needed to.
Yeah, that was really, really strong for Masa right there. So Future kind of sallied forth with his Hellion and Reaper, ended up losing one of his Hellions, and that was all the opportunity Masa needed to run by that bunker and get a good amount of damage done to Future. And well, he's very happy with his position right now. He's made up for the later command center. This battle cruiser is still unscouted. And he is going Yamato Cannon, so we're going to see very likely at least probably 2 or 3 BCs, maybe just keeps building them.
Yeah, that's always the question, is how many BCs are coming out, right? Yamato Cannon is the first indicator of how many you're going to do. That guarantees you're going to want to go for at least 2. And then if you start maybe a second starport, I can see sometimes for the mass battlecruiser build. I've seen Masa do that before, and it is fantastic. It doesn't look, I don't suspect he's going for that. You usually need 3 bases because you don't have enough gas otherwise to make 2 at a time. But there's the scan, and the battlecruiser is in that scan. So I was like, oh, he didn't see the fusion core, but the battlecruiser's teleporting right in to that natural position. And we're going to see that tank get destructinated.
Yeah, we will. And, oh, nice. Does take it out without any chance. And we're going to see the Hellions go after the Cyclone. This is big problems for Future right now. Masa might actually just win right now.
There's nothing. There's nothing that fires upward. There's one bunker with 1 Marine in it. And the Hellions are going to town on these SCVs. I love the battlecruiser's focus firing a supply depot while the Hellions are actually killing off SCVs. He's like, no, you guys got this. 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh my god, the Ravens are following him. What are you guys gonna do, fellas? What are you gonna do? Tank resieges up, but that was crippling damage from Masa. Future getting eaten alive by that sexy black and red battlecruiser with the spoiler on the back of it. I don't know what that is. That's not a skin. That's how the battlecruiser always looks. It looks like it's got a spoiler, like that command center, just trying to drag it down. Oh, that looks so good. Oh man,
it does. It's like
it's crazy.
It's like the command,
like the flight deck.
Yeah, that's the one.
I said
the
command
place
center, and that wasn't the right word, but yeah, it's like the command deck for the battlecruiser. I don't know if it's just because it's red and black, and I never noticed it on that color or whatever, but it looks good, man. It looks so good. Anyway, Yamato's finished up now. Second battlecruiser out, and there it is. Third battlecruiser on the way, as is the third CC for Masa. So Masa really going to power up now on 3 battlecruisers. And I don't know, Steadfast, what does Future even do here? Crank out more Vikings and Cyclones to try and neutralize the battlecruiser threat and hope to win the air war?
I mean, his best opportunity is to try and drag the game out as long as he can, so that the losses he suffered, don't they become relatively mitigated based on the length of the game. But the problem is Masa can continue to do damage with this. Look at that, 3 SCVs got picked off right there, and he's going to heal up or repair up these battle cruisers once again. And yeah, to speak to what you're saying, I actually don't know how he comes back in this game in terms of what he should be going for. He's going to be going mech against a player who has such a massive lead and is also going mech. And the fact that they're both going to be going battle mech is a really big problem for Future. Masa's just going to be able to build so much more.
Yeah, well, this is a big problem with anytime your opponent does the same exact build you do, and you're a little bit behind, at least if you have different builds, you can always hope to like counter them in one way or another, right? So if you're going mech versus bio and you're a little behind, I usually see that as like not as bad of a deal, because you're like, oh, at least I've got some mobility, like I've got some other attribute that I can make up for. When you're both going, as you said, for that exact same build, it just means that Masa's going to have more than Future is. Look at the income graph right now, guys. It's been in Masa's favor for the last 2 or 3 minutes, ever since that battlecruiser attack really went ham. And the army supply graph looks very similar. For the last 2 or 3 minutes, it's been a huge advantage. Nice interference matrices from these battlecruisers, though. Both of them gonna go down there. Beautifully done by Future. It doesn't quite even the odds, but really nice picks there, slowing Masa down a little bit.
Yeah, that's actually, for one, a little bit of a mistake from Masa, knowing that his opponent had Ravens on the map and knowing the way that battlecruisers work. Of course, the disable instantly interrupts any spell that's being cast, so whether that's the teleport or in that case the Yamato cannon, and that means, yeah, really nice little trade. But here we go, a nice trade for Masa, gonna find a couple of Cyclones for just Hellions, and, well, that's really great. Oh, trying to get even splash damage from that tank, almost taking out a third Cyclone right there. Nice moves from Masa.
He threw away a lot of Hellions there. I'm a little surprised, but, you know, trading Hellions for Cyclones, usually all right for the player who's trading out those Hellions, so not too bad at all. We see Blue Flame on the way from both players, but a big difference right now is that +1 is already starting for Masa, whereas we just see those first two armories coming down back on Future's side of the map. So Future is going to be a bit... Okay, sorry, +1 finish. No, I was like, did it just disappear? Whereas our two armories from Future are just now going down, so he's going to be so freaking far behind in this upgrade game, and Masa needs to start his +1 vehicle plating right away to stay on top.
Yeah, he's going to want to get his +1 vehicle. Oh, nice lock on. Will grab a Cyclone and doesn't quite kill the Hellion, but still getting a Cyclone really, really nice there. These Cyclone versus Cyclone wars get so weird. Oh, looks like that BC on the bottom right. Yeah, gets picked off. But still, I mean, it's nice for Future that he finds those. Actually, really, really nice because, like I said before, the battle cruisers could find more damage for a lot of time, but the fact that they won't be able to now is really, really good for Future. And it gives him a chance in this game.
4th base finishing up for Masa, now moving into position. 5th base on the way as well. So our Red Terran player doing really well against his teammate in a game or in a series where he's already down 1 game, and this is so nice. Retreating Cyclones from Future, eating so much flack from Masa's Cyclones there. 3 of them going down instantaneously. Really nice picks from Masa. And Masa just in complete control of this game. I don't see a way that Future can come back. I honestly was like, okay, he sniped a battle cruisers, maybe that's enough. But I don't even think that's enough anymore.
Yeah, the problem is it's kind of a soft numbers game. Ooh, Liberator gonna try and take out these tanks. Does force the Cyclones to use their lock-ons, and that actually was a really, really smart move from Future. Oh no, this command center getting found on the right side. Oh, well, there goes that momentum swing.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it, kids. Future now ahead in army supply for the first time this game, really. But yeah, losing that command center is huge because Masa, as we said, not only already on 4 command centers, but has finished up his 5th, working on an orbital command, is now building a 6th command center also, meaning that if Future doesn't win with this push, this game all but over for him. We're going to see a game 3 here in this AX series.
Yeah, and it may seem like things are closer than they are. And you know, it's not overwhelmingly in favor of Masa just yet, but over the next couple of minutes, or even, well, actually, this fight is actually really good for Masa. And reinforcements coming in. No, with a tank in the back, this is so good for Masa. Even trades are good for the Red Terran player.
Right.
But I would say that was a favorable trade, if anything.
Right. Hit just before 1-1 had finished, by the way, for Future as well. So Future knows it. GG, and Masa evens up the series 1-1. These teammates really slugging it out here, Steadfast. Very impressive.
Oh, absolutely. Now, it did mostly come down to that very cheeky battlecruiser build. Future was not at all prepared for that. And to be honest, that's kind of always been the name of the game for Future. For Masa, is he has a lot of very frightening builds. And well, what do you think he's gonna bust out for us in game number 3? What's your pick for build order choice?
Sorry, Steadfast, my game is bugged out just a little bit here, so I'm a little bit slow loading in back to the main screen. Okay, I'm here. Thank goodness. Oh,
okay,
so
perfect.
Worried I'm gonna lose things on the last map of the day. What was your question, Steadfast? I was really nervous about what was going on my screen. I apologize.
No problem. Just asking what. Just mentioning that Masa, very cheeky player. Do you think he goes for more of this this kind of recklessness? That's not fair to say recklessness. He tries to go for something cheesy again. You know, a battle cruiser rush or 100%. Proxy racks.
Yes,
Masa
is gonna double battle cruiser rush his opponent. He's gonna drop 2 starports with tech labs on it. He's gonna build that fusion core on the opposite side of the map, and he's gonna get 2 battle cruisers in to Future's main base by about the 6-minute mark if you do it right, and Future's just gonna go down in flames. Easy win for Masa.
Deal. Sounds good to me.
You'd watch that. Everybody would watch that. Come on.
Oh, 100%.
Well, guys, let's hop into our final game of the day for Steadfast and I on Pillars of Gold LE between these two Alpha X Terrans. And spawning. In that bottom left-hand side in the red, representing Team Alpha X and the US of A, it is the future of Terran.
Haha. That is actually his name, so
Yes.
Yeah. And his opponent spawning up in the top right position of the map. It is the blue Terran player from Canada, representing Alpha X as well. Give it up for Masa, also known as the one true Maru.
Yes. Every time I cast a Masa game, especially since I haven't eaten food for the last 7 hours, I get really hungry because Masa, I don't know if we've talked about this before, Steadfast, or if I talked to Grant about it, but Masa is the name of like the corn flour that goes inside of a tamale, a Mexican tamale.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so
that is quite interesting.
Yeah, so that outer coating of the tamale that's like that corn floury kind of coating, that's that substance is known as masa. So every time I cast a game, I'm like, oh man, I could murder some tamales right now, like 6 of them. That'd be amazing.
Sounds pretty good.
Sorry to distract you on our last game of the day. Again, we're going to see Factory down earlier for Masa than for Future, but this time Future not going for that early ground command center. Instead, going for his Factory first as well. Double gas down, but he's only saturating one of his gases very partially.
Yeah, basically once you get enough gas for that Factory, you stop mining as much gas for a little bit of time. Unless, as I mentioned in that previous game, you wanted to go for that 1-1-1, that one base build. But not gonna be the case here. It's just going to be both of them going for that very quick Factory and then a later expand.
Yeah, even Stevens here in game number 3. Look, neither of these players wants to lose it. Remember, guys, we're starting this series where both players are 1-1 right now in match score. So the winner of this will go up to a 2-1 match score, which is a really good position to be in by game 3. That means you only have to win half of your remaining matches, and you've got a really good shot of moving on. The loser, of course, has to win 3 of their 4 remaining matches, which for some reason sounds so much more difficult than winning half of their remaining matches.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the strengths of schedule for either of these players yet, and I don't have the wherewithal right now to care about it. But still going to be important that the winner... still important to win this one to move you up to 2-1, as opposed to being 1-2, which is not a hole you want to have to dig yourself out of.
Well, I've got you covered here. We've got Masa with a very diverse strength of schedule here. Next, he'll be playing Pili Pili, who is currently 0-3 in the group. Then Estrella, who is top of the group.
Okay.
Then he'll be playing Rob, who's a bit of a wild card right now, but I would still have Masa favored. And then his final match will be against TLO, who, once again, I would have Masa a little bit favored, but TLO can always bust something weird out. Right. So, I would say a pretty middle of the road ending to that. So on the other hand, he's
going to beat Pili Pili. He's going to lose to Estrella. He's going to beat TLO. And then who's the 4th person?
Rob.
He's going to beat Rob. Yeah, he'll be fine.
I think so. Even if he loses this group or this match, I think he's in an okay spot.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas Future will be playing Rob, TLO, Nina, and Pili Pili. So I think actually Future has the ever so slightly easier schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would put Estrella above Nina right now. Yeah.
They're still going to be tough opponents for either one of them. I don't know how Future's PVT looks right now. I'll have to ask Nina later. I'll be like, "Hey, you going to beat Future?" And I'll see what she has to say.
To be honest, though, considering the fact that their schedules are pretty similar in terms of difficulty, this map actually becomes that much more important because whoever then wins it wins the tiebreaker between the two of them.
Oh my god, you're right. That's insane. Good lock on there onto the medevac, but it does get kicked out here. Masa is going to set up those tanks in the low ground here. The Raven's there for the auto turret, but he decides not to auto turret. The Reaper's getting the high ground vision here. The tank doing a lot of damage. It looks like Future is going to drive this away. I don't see Masa getting any damage done with this, and in fact, no damage will get done. Even microing these Reapers back one by one to try and save him. Loses one Reaper, but the Cyclone going to head out with the medevac. But what a disastrous engagement there from Masa. What was he trying to accomplish?
I don't know. At first, it looked to me like it was actually going to be really, really good for Masa.
Right.
But Future just barely able to break that there. He got that auto turret down, even though it was a little bit late on the right side. It soaked a shot from the tank. It was able to put a lot of DPS on that tank. Yeah, that was a really weird little push that looked on paper and by the eye test, to me, it looked very scary. But yeah, good defense from Future. And now he's super far ahead in this game.
Yeah, 47 workers to 39. He's ahead on army supply. Gets a full freaking scout with that Reaper in the main, and he can get to the natural if he wants to. Oh, go, buddy. Go. Nah, he's going to get you to the tank. That's fine. Anyway, full scout now. And Future's setting up for a push of his own. I don't love this, Steadfast. He doesn't have... I think he thinks he did a lot more damage to Masa than he did. Whereas he really just sort of drove back that attack. He's got a weakened Cyclone here. A couple of tanks, and he does have the Vikings for the high ground vision. But I don't like this at all, man. I don't like this from Future.
I like it if he stands a little bit further back from where he actually is, but moving right up to the ramp, okay, I'm okay with this if he backs off right now and then just sets up for a further back contain. As it is, though, wait, did he kill the Raven of Masa?
Yeah, he did. He forced the CC back as well and canceled the orbital command morph.
Okay, I think he's gotten about as much damage as he can reasonably expect from this push. And yeah, this is now. He's lost all his air support. Now is the time to go home. Do not just throw away 3 tanks for free. That would be very reckless.
And he's listening to you.
That's
so
a funny
good.
Cyclone.
Ha! Weak Cyclone and weak Marine versus strong Cyclone and strong Marine. Strong Cyclone wins. The tanks will make it back. The Cyclone could snipe one of these if he wanted to, but Masa not paying quite as much attention as maybe he should. And Masa's gonna go for it. These guys are like... They're like boxers at the end of a Rocky movie, and they're just like absent-mindedly kind of swinging at each other, just throwing little armies back and forth into the meat grinders. Guys, Terrans are a great race for defense. Your opponent is going to be defensing.
Oh, it's fine. I defend my position at their base.
We'll see about that.
That's a lot of Vikings in favor of Future. And, well, Masa, but yeah, like you said, both players really going for a lot of aggression here. Nice lock on, will finish off that Viking. Masa is going to take out, oh no, the vision gets lost there.
Yeah, because there's nothing in the air for Masa. He can't see anything. He lost all his Vikings, and now there are even more Vikings for Future, which means that Future's tanks are going to be more effective with fewer scans. And Future's really going to start pressing his income advantage here. It's 72 workers to 60 with the income graph here, spiking in favor of Future for the last couple seconds of this game. He'll lose a tank on the flippity-flop, but he's going to save his refinery. And even if he loses the refinery, who cares? He's got some bio there he can drop on top of the tanks. I think Masa's being a fool staying here.
It feels very, very bold. Oh, wait, what just happened at the third base?
I didn't see anything.
A lot.
At the third base.
He's not mining though.
That was weird.
Was there? Okay, there must have been a drop into the main. Something drop into the third, drop into the main.
Liberator at the third? No, there's no Liberator. Huh.
Oh,
there it is. That Liberator. How many kills does it have?
It's only got 1 kill.
Maybe that was it.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know. Ha.
No, I think I just missed a drop or something. And it denied a lot of mining time at the third. More important, I would say, than even picking off those 4 SCVs. He denied an entire base for a while.
Yeah, we can see that spike in the income graph there. Wow, yeah. So Masa's going to push across now and continue with this pressure, but again, Future has +1/+1 finished up for his bio. He's working on +1 for his tanks. And Masa has no upgrades. They're almost finished. They're a ways away. And a smaller army supply. So Future's going to rotate around. Masa might be able to snipe the sensor tower if he scans again, but that's going to be about it. Liberator here will drive all this away while the Vikings are taking the Liberator. But the Liberator will at least force the unsiege from the tanks, slowing down Masa's push. Masa way ahead in workers now, though. 4 more SCVs going down.
Where is this happening? I'm missing so much. I don't understand.
I feel the same way.
Masa is he's doing phantom attacks that they're like, how amazing would that be if you could cloak something from the observer? The observer couldn't even see it.
Wait a minute, I just had an amazing idea though. Imagine if your
oh god,
hang on, big push here from Future. He's behind the line of those vision vents, by the way, so he's gonna clean everything up from Masa.